if I were to go back to my 20s, there would definitely be a lot of conversations to do internally, a lot of inner work to be done. Hello, queens of the feminine flow. So, if you're in your 20s, if you're in your 30s, if you're in your 40s, 60s, 17s, whatever, here are 5 things you should know. And I wish I knew in my 20s, because my 20s were the transitioning stages from being in my parents' house to starting to get independent. And the first thing I wish someone had told me, or I wish I knew, was that I didn't have to prove my worth. I spent so much time proving my worth through my education, through applying for positions, and also through getting to know boys, and also getting to have new friends. I really wanted to be liked. And to be liked, I thought I needed to prove something. And now I know, just by merely existing and by being born a woman, I mean, look at us. Women, we are wonderful. I just love women in their feminine energy. This would have saved me from a lot of burnout and a lot of feelings of rejection, even from people who are just unnecessary, you know, in my life, because they were meant to be temporary. Schoolmates, etc. So that's number one. I didn't have to prove my worth. The second thing is that I needed to validate myself first before seeking the validation of other people. I needed to do some inner work and approve of myself and be like, we are 20, we are in school, we are broke, we are growing. Our this part of the brain has not yet developed. And to give myself validation would have given me a much better body image, a much better sense of worth. It would have allowed me to be a decisive woman early on and to make decisions based on my inner wisdom and not having to inquire for every single thing. For example, if my friends are not going somewhere back in the day, I would abandon the whole idea, even if I'm the one who really wanted to go. Validating myself first before seeking the validation of others is something that has allowed me, as I mature, as I season, as I grow older, to move faster and to not be afraid, because sometimes people spread fear to you, even with their good intentions. And fear can paralyze you, and especially other people's fear. So, validating myself before seeking the validation of the others. And then, number three, I wish I knew that by having boundaries, I am not pushing people away, I'm not scaring them away. A lot of the times when we were young women, and especially for me, as a firstborn daughter, my I was expected to be a sponge that absorbs everyone's wishes, desires, and to take care of them. And the burnout, my friend, I've had burnout for decades. And if I knew that creating a boundary is actually for my self protection, and I wish I knew also that the people who are meant to stay will stay regardless of your no. Whether you say, no, I'm unable to see you this evening because I want to prioritize my rest for today. I thought this would make the other person feel bad, and then they would never speak to me again. Um, Now I know that to protect myself and for me to be able to show up better and more authentically into the world, I need to have my boundaries and I need to communicate my boundaries. Another thing I wish I knew is that love doesn't have to be earned. Love doesn't have to be earned. People stay in your life because of who you are and because you are compatible with them. And when they leave, that's fine. You can also leave if you want to. And if I knew that from early on, I wouldn't be so burnt out trying to work hard to be loved, even just with family, with friends, even with your romantic relationships. Love doesn't have to be earned. We see a lot of TikTok videos. There's this TikTok video I used to watch, and it used to really piss me off. There's this lady, what's her name? I'm forgetting her name. Is it Husna? She's a Kenyan TikToker. I'm forgetting her name. She calls herself the understanding girlfriend. And I remember watching her carrying a frying pan all the way because she's going to make chapatis for her boyfriend. So for the boyfriend to like her. And a lot of girls in campus, I remember girls washing clothes for boys, cooking for, I mean, people did the most. And the lesson learned here is that love doesn't have to be earned. You are lovable, you are magnetic, you attract, you are a feminine energy woman. Look at yourself. I mean, come on. By just merely existing within your feminine energy, being calm, being who you are, being authentically you, someone who is compatible with you will gravitate towards you. And it's okay if they are not yet there right now. I didn't know, this is a bonus that I'm adding. I didn't know that it's okay to be alone, you know, to be alone. And there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And being alone as a feminine woman is a very, very important thing that we need to consider because it helps us to recharge. It helps us to get in touch with our hobbies. It helps us to, take care of ourselves, go and read your books, get in touch with your podcasts, write down your ideas for your businesses, write your budgets. Being alone as a feminine woman is a way to recharge. We carry a life source. When people are around us, wow, my shrubs. When people are around us, we emit a life source. We energize. Have you ever seen women alone, like without men? The banter, the joy, the laughter of women when they're in a group of friends, the way they recharge each other, they laugh, they have so much joy. Oh, and within women, when we're in a group of women, we recharge each other, we spark into each other's lives. But again, when we are away from women and we are doing the work of giving, the work of caregiving, the work of caring, um, being warm, being nurturing other people, we are discharging our life force. And when a woman can come back and be on her own, I didn't know that this was actually a good thing. It's not something to be afraid of, it's something to actually look forward to. Who doesn't look forward to being creative? And as a feminine woman, I'm a very creative person. And it's not just about, planting flowers, gardening, arranging flowers, but we bring forth life by just existing, by nurturing people, by caregiving, by just thinking of ideas, by decorating our environments, by decorating physically, or just the soft touch of a woman, the soft voice of a woman, the laughter of a woman. This is something that people look forward to when they go back home. They're like, the way my mom laughs, the way my mom jokes, the way my mom cooks. We bring life. And I didn't know that being alone is recharging. I thought being alone is being lonely, which is very different. Okay. I think the fifth thing I wish I knew was rest is not laziness. Listen, first of all, you need to know I'm a firstborn daughter. Resting was not a thing that I was raised to do. Resting was unheard of. Resting was to be done when you're sick or when you're about to collapse because of all the um, work you've been doing the whole day. I only recently realized that resting is a rebellious act for me personally, because being a firstborn, you have siblings behind you. You're expected to take care of them. You have, if you're in an African country, or you grew up in a family like mine, there were relatives. There were much older relatives. Maybe your grandfather was around, your grandmother that was not feeling well. There were other relatives, etc. So, as a firstborn daughter, resting was not in my vocabulary. I started reclaiming rest for myself so recently, and oh my God, to rest without guilt. To rest without guilt, and to even allow yourself to bum. Um, One of the interesting things that my therapist did with me as a practice, because still as an older person, as a mature, seasoned person, where I might think I'm resting, but I have my phone with me. But are we truly resting? I need to really think about this. What is resting? And one of the things that my therapist started doing with me was to find small pockets of time. 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 15 minutes, you start developing your muscle. Is finding small pockets of time where you put your phones away, switch off the TV, stay away from any music or any stimulant, and just be quiet and to sit in silence and to train the voices in your head. I know I have a big committee of people in my head that are always steering left, right, circular, just to train the mind to be calm. This, as an exercise, has been a game changer for me. To rest, and to rest not only in a way that, okay, I'm switching off the lights, now I've gone to sleep. No, but to find some pockets of time within your day to just switch off and to listen to your body, and to ah it's a game changer, especially for a feminine woman, because we have to realize that we've tuned out our intuition because of all the gadgets, all the things that are surrounding us. And to be able to find your intuition back, to find your inner voice, you need to rest. And so, rest is not laziness, rest is rejuvenation. Rest is a thing you have to do, like the way we have to breathe in oxygen for us to survive. And you will know, your body will tell you, you need to slow down. Both men and women, our bodies tell us. But to be very, very insistive, if there's any such word, to to be very, very precise as feminine energy women, when we overexert ourselves, our hormones just explode all over the place. We start having breakouts, we start losing our hair, our skin starts dulling down. If there's our skin start looking so dull, and we have to rejuvenate our bodies. How do you expect to be a feminine energy woman if you don't rest? because you lose your intuition. This is what separates us from masculine energy. Our intuition is our superpower. You lose your sensuality in every way. You lose your sensuality. You lose your confidence. How can you be confident when your brain has not even had time to reset? Then our periods, our menstrual cycle just scatters. I mean, yeah. For those who are trying to get children, this is one of the recommendations. Like rest, rest, rest as a woman, rest, even in your 20s, rest. And you know what? It's even better if you can manage to get 8 hours of sleep every day. Don't buy into the hustle culture where people like, I know of this lady. She's always talking about how busy she is. I'm so busy. I didn't sleep. I didn't, and then I woke up at midnight and I saw that this dishes needed cleaning and I started cleaning. We are no longer our mom's ages where they used to brag about how much they've overworked. I remember growing up in a small town, and I would listen to when our mothers would gather in one of the houses, and they would take turns to say how much they've not rested, and then they would try to one up each other. No, me, I've not rested since 40 years ago. No, me, I haven't even right now. And then when they were talking, they would be talking while peeling things, and it was fun for them. It's cool. But then resting resting is something. Now that I'm in the fourth floor, it's really important for me. Um, and the thing is, the good thing is that there's no deadline. Like the fact that my 20s passed a long time ago, decades ago, it doesn't mean that I cannot try it again, because life is beautiful. I mean, listen, life is just amazing. And I love how in life you can reinvent yourself at any moment. In your 50s, in your 60s, you can learn this and just implement. And women just have this way of peeling off the old skin and restarting afresh. You can reinvent yourself. You can find rest now. You can validate yourself. You can find your self worth at any age. You can rest at any age. Boundaries are not time bound. Start your boundaries now. Start small, start saying no's in a way that makes you feel I'm being warm to myself, I'm being kind to myself. Start doing that. And I work with women, and I do personal coaching for women. And one of my clients currently is working on creating boundaries. And we had to do an exercise, a verbal exercise, for her to know the difference between, you know, creating boundaries that give you peace, being warm to yourself and being warm to others. And it's not about toning down the boundary you want to set, it's about really focusing on your needs, creating boundaries versus giving cold expectations. And when I do personal coaching with the women in the Feminine Flow group, I learn so much from them because it allows me to do exercises with them. And it also makes me reflect on some things in my life that I want to change. And we were doing this exercise, and I love it so much because when you're creating boundaries, you're communicating your needs. And we were doing an exercise where you communicate your needs in a way that your body is not left bracing for impact, How we grew up being told to create boundaries is like, I don't want to talk to you again. You've said something bad to me. And in the personal coaching that I do with women, I train women to create soft or warm boundaries. And by soft, I'm not talking about a soft impact. I'm talking about being soft to yourself, knowing exactly what is your need. What do I need in this moment? And where does my power lie in this boundary? Because some of the times we create boundaries that, if we are not aware, that turn us into victims, like in a victim position. So when I train women to create boundaries, I'm training them. You hold the power. You have put yourself on a pedestal, and you valued yourself, and you're communicating what you want, what needs you have, what they make you feel, and in a way that makes your body feel warm, in a way that makes you feel I've communicated something that is not debatable. And I like giving women examples, and we have so much fun in the personal coaching that you're doing. I have to communicate that I have a few slots for personal coaching. Um, Only 2 slots per month. I only take 2 slots per month. And these slots are 10-week long, 10 sessions long. They can be 10 consecutive weeks, or you can space them as much as you want. The personal coachings are done for women, online, hybrid, or in person. I have clients from South Africa, from Nigeria, from Kenya. I love them so much. I recently have one client from the USA, and we are moving on very well. I like to personalize them. I like to tailor make your experience. I want to take you on a journey that is uniquely yours. Um, and we can build a roadmap together. We can co-create your new life together. And to watch women transform is such a rewarding experience. It validates the reason why I started this Feminine Flow group, because to watch women transform from timidity to confidence, from masculine energy to feminine energy, and just to see a woman's sensuality, minding her business in a way that gives her joy, and to see a very stern woman turning out to find her inner girlish joy. And this woman bursts out laughing from the heart, from the stomach, from wherever. It's just to see transformation in women is so satisfying. And I want to take on this journey with you. Get in touch with us. Get in touch with us on the email address below. And if you would like to join our Feminine Flow group, we do group meditations, manifestations, we encourage each other, we follow each other's paths. Get in touch with us as well. You will find a barcode for you to join our Feminine Flow group. We also have group coaching that is done on YouTube every Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time, East African time. Would you like to join that as well? So we have so many options for you. You will not miss a thing for you to do. We love visitors, and we love to see you join us. Take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye bye.